Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
Sphere Exclusives. Looking for exclusive content from your favorite podcasts here at the Sphere? Head over to sphere.tv/Patreon and sign up today. Lady Ari Natural Hair Care. Lady Ari Natural Hair Care has been a prime destination for catering to naturally kinky hair in Houston, Texas. Give the experts a call today at area code 832-265-3792 or book online at ladyari.com.
Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463.
Welcome back to another episode of Intermission. I am your host, Marcus Griffin. You can find me at Facebook at Marcus Griffin or IG at McGriff the Critic. I almost forgot my Instagram. Don't forget also to subscribe to the show on all major platforms, as well as sharing the show on the Facebook Live on your Facebook walls. But before we get into all the movie news and all that great stuff going on, I'd like to introduce my wonderful hosts that are laughing at me once again. I'm trying something new. I don't know how to open the show most of the times. I kind of go off, but we like to introduce Erlene.
Hi. How are you? Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Erlene. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as Elise Main. That's it. That's all I got.
And then on the side of her is Jarvis. Jarvis, you were supposed to come in after her. Jarvis.
I was just like, okay, fuck it.
And then next to Jarvis is Howard.
Wait, I got Instagram.
Oh, I forgot about Jarvis. Say his tags.
You can find me at Howard_Jerome or Howard_.
Get the camera
Jerome.
off Howard and go back to Jarvis.
Why, dog? I'm taking this.
Tell us my tags,
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Ziggy the Lionhearted on Instagram.
It's not acting right, though. Throw some water in it.
It's humid outside, man.
Hey, that's a great looking hair, man.
Dude,
I
throw some
love it how you
water
come
in
with
it
the
and, like,
Fabio.
shake it.
Oh, no, he's got the Aquaman thing going on.
Okay.
It's so funny. I showed a picture. So Howard's son's birthday was on Sunday, so I showed a picture of him, you and your son to my dad, and he was like, "What's going on? Is this Aquaman?" I was like, "How do you know about Aquaman?" I laughed.
I saw him, by the way, in the middle of the street one day.
What was he doing?
He was talking to a neighbor or something.
That dude's so
He lost
friendly.
a bunch of weight, right?
Yeah,
He had them dark ass sunglasses. I almost hit him.
My daddy's flying. Damn, don't hit my daddy. Excuse me. Oh, if you do, we might get paid.
Right.
But don't hit him. Don't hit him.
Like,
Not the
"Sup,
hard.
Mr. Griffin?
They hit
Fuck
him
out
hard.
the road."
He didn't run him over. That's messed up. But before we get into some great news, how was y'all week going so far?
It's going good. I was off yesterday.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
Alcohol's been my friend.
You sipping on vodka as we speak.
That's
Yeah.
tequila.
Oh no, that's tequila. I'm tripping.
that's
I see clear liquids and I think it's vodka. My fault. But what about you, Howard? How'd your week going?
It's been chilling, man.
That's
busy,
good, it's good.
busy.
We got a busy news week, and then we also got a few discussion that's about to take place on this Us.
Yeah.
It's gonna be ugly.
Are we gonna talk about this on Facebook Live?
We
I guess
can
we might as well,
get
but
part of it
We
on
can
there.
do the start of it.
we can start it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to start off with Erlene. Did you want to talk about the topic that you had at hand, or did you want to go straight into
The
Us?
news.
The news that you were talking about
Oh, what was that? What was I talking
with
about?
the Warner Brother cable.
Oh, it's not really major. I know they were trying to drop like BET, MTV, and made certain Viacom. Is that who they are? They were trying to drop a lot of different channels, whatever networks, BET, MTV, and they were trying to do. We have people sign petitions for it not to happen, but I think they came to an agreement on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean,
about it. So
this is what normally happens. They get to the end of a contract, and then you start seeing commercials. Well, so and so's trying to drop us and all that. It's not really that. It's just that the contract ended.
Yeah.
And like, say it's Viacom this time. They're like, okay, what we gonna do? We gotta pull our shows. You ain't telling us nothing.
So, I mean, with that in mind, I still don't watch cable enough. And this Disney streaming thing, it seems like it's really going to take my money.
You can do Showtime on the app, HBO on the app. I have Amazon Prime. I can get each one of those part of my Prime package, not even go to.
Oh shit! You don't have to go look at no commercials. Nothing like that.
I don't. So it's like
they were spoiled.
You can drop them, but I'm still.
I'm still.
So you don't watch shows.
I don't watch BET. I remember last time I checked out
Bro,
BET.
I couldn't tell you what BET even has on it anymore. Same thing with
Correct.
MTV.
I haven't
none
watched
of
that.
that
I
stuff.
don't watch any of
Someone
I know
did tell me
VH1
they had
has,
some
but-
type of show, but I can't remember the name of it. I mean, I'm sorry to forget, but whatever. But besides that point, did y'all have any more hot takes on that before we get to this discussion
Well,
that's
that
about
was
to take
it.
place?
That's all
I
have
do
on
want to
that.
say
Okay,
congrats to Empire because they're getting their star back.
Oh yeah, shout out to Empire getting
Yeah.
Jesse Smollett back.
So he is going back to the show.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure
Probably
they're gonna ride. It's gonna be season 5 is gonna be
I feel
that
that
storyline.
they fired him, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think there
So
was
did
more
they
to-
officially fire him though?
I think they did
I thought they
officially
did.
fire
Because I know there was a
him.
lot of like people saying, "Oh, he got fired. He's about to get
Oh,
written
he's
out
about
of the
to get
show."
let go.
But I haven't
Or
heard
they may
anything
have-
about him actually being
Who
written out of the
knows?
show.
But I know that they took him out the last part of that season.
How though?
They didn't. I don't think they said anything.
I don't think it's been out
So
yet.
they just stopped him from being
like
on the show.
I guess however they,
Guys, his
I
record's
don't- I don't
postponed.
watch the show, but whatever they did with his character, they did this. I guess it was like a halt, and they did something else.
So
Mhm.
Lucius is like, "Hey, I got 2 sons now, man."
Yeah.
I
Big sons, man.
I mean,
That
who-
other one, we
Hey,
don't
but
man.
know.
we don't know what he told them. You know,
True.
Right.
Oh,
I heard he broke down.
he's on a-
I heard
he's
he
on a
broke
world
down and
tour.
cried.
But like
Yeah.
I was saying before, when you bring that type of that energy,
Yeah.
right or wrong,
They won't let you.
you don't want to be part of that.
No, you don't want to be associated with something
know,
like that,
so-
especially if you.
Poor negotiation.
Did you
tactics.
feel the need, and then you also it's gonna look at me like, did you have to take it to that level? Did
Oh,
you
we
have
don't-
to get your
I
money?
mean, we're not sure what happened.
But I never know
what
happens,
The
so
file
we'll
is
talk about
so
sealed. We'll never know what actually happened. Give it about 10 years. It'll.
It'll come out.
There's
It'll
so
be-
much more.
it'll be
There's
a
so much
Netflix,
more going on with
series.
that.
Before we talk
I
about
just think it was a power play
going
by
to our
Fox.
big discussion, I just want to say that we are 3 weeks from Game of Thrones
It's about to be
and
awesome.
4 weeks from Endgame.
It's about to be awesome, and a week away from Shazam.
I'm not really.
Why
I'm
is no one
actually
else
excited.
hyped by that?
It's
No,
gonna
I'm
be a
not seeing
fun
reviews.
movie.
It's gonna
I
be a
think,
good movie.
I
That
heard.
you can't. You just kill the joy though, dropping that in there like
What?
that for me.
So you said this is a buzzkill?
Now, I
you,
will
you
say,
can't have Game of Thrones and Endgame and say Shazam.
Okay,
Man,
well,
stop.
good thing it starts
Well,
off
not the way
at
you
the
said
beginning
it.
of
Right.
If
the
you're gonna say Shazam, you gotta say it with.
Shazam!
There you go. That's better.
Nah, I didn't like it. It's
I don't
not
like that.
Shazam!
Your voice
Ooh,
did
that was
some
a
weird
lie.
things.
It's a-
Right.
That was a
cracked
lie
out of
right
this.
there.
I'm
Sound
sorry.
like,
I'm sorry.
sound like
Puberty.
Keenan from SNL.
Right.
Haters
Yeah.
gonna
yeah.
hate, man. Haters gonna
Yeah.
hate.
Yeah.
Y'all some haters, dog. You know what? I'm gonna be
though.
in Shazam. I'm gonna be
It's the truth,
screaming. I'm gonna be
though.
there in the middle road.
I'm
Are
actually.
you gonna actually yell it every time he says it?
I probably will. I'll probably get up.
I'm excited
Oh,
for Pet
I-
Cemetery.
I'm watching
now.
it with you.
Huh?
I
The-
can't.
with the new trailer for Pet Cemetery, I'm more excited about it.
Oh, it did look really creepy.
It looked
creeped me
better
more than
now.
I thought.
It looked
Did
a
we
whole
discuss
lot
that
better.
trailer?
Yeah, we did.
We-
Okay.
we discussed
April
like the-
has Shazam, Endgame,
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Pet
and the new
Cemetery.
Sabrina.
And the new Sabrina.
It's a lot
Oh,
going on.
Yeah, it's a lot going
lot
on.
going
And then
on.
08 just dropped last weekend.
Oh,
right?
and it's so
Still
good.
gotta
Is it
watch
really?
08.
I am.
I
watching
scrolled
that.
across it on Netflix and I was like, I can't remember if Howard and Arlene said it was a good show. I can't
It's a good
remember.
show.
You really you have the thing with OA. You have to watch season 1 or
Okay,
part
well, I gotta
1
watch
Yeah.
one.
because
Mhm.
what they're doing with it, you have to know what happened in the first part.
So I have to go back and rewatch it because it was like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, I would rewatch it definitely. They give you great like little flashbacks, but it would be better to rewatch it. So
Well, now we got all that out the way. We're gonna make this conversation.
I feel like there's something we're missing.
Because I really
In the
forget
news?
all that.
Yeah, it does
Oh.
feel like
Forget
somewhere
all
missing.
of the news. We need to talk about this
Well,
movie.
okay. One more thing about
Oh, here it
Endgame.
goes. Another-
The
something
best memes so far are the Marvel memes where Thanos is like, "What's going on?" and it's Ant-Man coming out of his ass. They keep saying that Ant-Man's gonna kill him by going in his ass and getting
Yeah.
big.
Where did this start from?
I don't know.
Because
but
they have the new
every other-
posters they
It
put
started
out.
on- No, it started on Reddit.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
that's how a lot
Great.
of stuff start.
yeah.
and
I picture
Anything to
Ant-Man
stop
going
Captain
to
Marvel
his
winning.
ear, if anything, but his anus, like, what? I don't want to be standing. I don't want to be running down his rectum.
I don't know, man.
I don't know
Ant-
what's standing.
because Ant-Man
Wouldn't it
can
be
go
running
anywhere.
up his rectum now?
I don't know. I
Oh,
saw
moving
one today.
on.
This- oh man,
Thanos was looking up saying, "What's happening?" and Thor says, "That's Ant-Man."
See, you know what? People have too much free time on their hands.
Yeah, they do.
Is there anything else that we need to talk about?
No, that's all I had.
I think that's it.
Anything else?
That's
I-
it.
I
had more
You're
news.
I had to get
excited.
that one off my
You're
chest.
I wanna talk about
excited.
this movie, man.
You're
I've
excited
seen it
about
again.
this.
I've seen it again, and I want to hear y'all
Okay,
take
so
before we really dive into this.
We're going to delve deeply into the new Jordan Peele movie, Us.
If
Dun,
you
dun,
have not
dun.
seen
We've
it,
all seen it, which is strange that we've all seen the movie. That's
hey,
you
it's
know,
a blessing. It's a blessing.
It's the first time
For the first
Marcus
time.
saw it.
First of all,
I
yeah,
mean,
first-
a
first
round
all,
of applause,
Yeah.
man.
Last one.
Well done,
Marcus
Marcus.
watched the movie.
But
Yeah.
also, we're all here together. It's been a minute since we've all been
That
here
is
together
true.
too.
Since
So,
the 100th
Well,
show.
what, 8 shows
Yeah.
ago. We was here
Damn,
for show
it's been
one.
8
That's still a
shows?
long
Jesus.
time.
That's a nice little minute.
That's a long
two,
time.
2
2
months.
months, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
But
long
hey,
time.
man, it's all good. We're here together, and we need to discuss this. Us. I want to hear what. First, I want to start start with Howard. Howard, what did you like about the movie? Did you like it?
So,
You want to give us a little soft review of how you
I was
felt
telling
about
Arlene this, and the movie. I'll give you my soft review before we dive into
before we
it.
get into spoilers.
I liked that it was very suspenseful.
Okay.
The thing that is really stood out about this movie is that I'm glad it was nothing like Get Out, and it seemed like a very fresh take on some things. I feel like some things didn't get fleshed out enough in the movie, but I think overall it's a pretty solid movie. Especially after you, but it's also one of those movies that I started liking more as I started digging more and more into what was going on.
Like the different
after
meanings
I
and
left.
stuff?
Yeah.
Like
and
the Jeremiah 11 stuff and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
and so that's one of the things that we'll get into a little bit later that has me kind of conflicted in my opinion of this movie. But yeah.
Okay, I like that.
I give it about 7.5, 8 out of 10.
7.5 and 8. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. It's better than I thought you were going to give it, honestly.
Yeah.
I honestly, I watched this movie and I was like, man, Howard's he's got to think like me on this one, man. And
we haven't even actually discussed this yet.
so we're not gonna go deep into that. So we're gonna go Jarvis. What you have?
Well, I understand. Like a lot of people sit up here thinking this was supposed to be a horror movie. It was not a horror movie. It was a thriller. Like I think that's Jordan Peele's thing is thrillers and the creepiness, not necessarily horror. Although he is doing a new Candyman. And I do like who he got cast as the Candyman. I think that's pretty dope.
I look forward to that one.
But on 1 to 10, I gave it 6.5 to a 7.
Ooh, that's like floating around that range that I kind of had it at.
Well, it had so many things. Like some parts I appreciated a lot, and other parts just felt like you didn't really think that part through. I felt like maybe he wrote this all completely himself. And it probably would have benefited to have someone else writing it with him.
Somebody who helped, because it's some parts of, not to say too much about it without revealing anything, is it felt flat at a few parts that I wish it would have kept going and kept the momentum going on. And then when it fell flat, I was sitting there in my thoughts, and when I'm sitting there in my thoughts, they led me astray to a lot of things that I'm pretty sure that I should have been not thinking about while watching the film. So I guess we talk about that later on what I'm talking about when we talk about spoilers. But Arlene, what did you feel about the film?
I actually really enjoyed it. I saw it last night late.
Oh, nice.
And it took me a while to process everything because I walked into it realizing I need to pay attention to everything. And for me, it fell flat in a few little places, but not enough to where I'm not happy with it.
Okay.
And I loved the message I got from it.
Okay.
And what I saw from it. And to me, it made sense from beginning to end. To me, there wasn't any hidden type of, I don't understand what's going on. Like, everything he did is lined out to me in it. Like, he explains everything eventually at some point in time. And I think I saw someone make a comment, I don't know what it is. I'm like, how you didn't know that? It's like, they tell you right there what's happening.
They basically tell you where a lot of the stuff that's going on
know,
if you're
but,
not paying attention.
For me, out of 10, I gave it an 8.
Oh, that's
because,
solid.
and I give it an 8 because with any piece of art, there's going to be a conversation. I think this movie brings a lot of conversation.
That it definitely
does.
And this
way
is,
more so
like
than
it
Get Out
or
did.
not, way more than Get Out. But like it or not, you're going to sit back and pen and paper, like, did you see this? And make you watch it again and think about it. I really, really, really tried.
Jarvis, you don't think it started more conversation than Get Out?
Not quite.
And I'm gonna tell you why, because I'm on the fence with Jarvis, because when Get Out got out, it was more of a conversation of what themes did you get out of the movie? What themes did you get out of him being stuck in that situation and how he got out of the situation, and where's your take on it? Where in this movie, in my opinion, I felt like the discussion was, is this good to you or does this movie suck to you? And that's what I've always been seeing. I haven't seen nobody say, because everybody pretty much got the layers of what
I don't think everyone got the layers.
Well, I
of
think a
what
lot of
he's
people went
saying.
in thinking it was supposed to be like Get Out, and that it was going to
Exactly.
be shit on white people.
Exactly,
again.
and
But
it
it's
wasn't.
not,
It
was
wasn't.
a class
It was an
thing.
entire society that got shitted on.
But to piggyback,
You know what I
Made it
mean?
very uncomfortable for people.
to piggyback on what you said was, I appreciated more after the articles and the YouTubes and stuff after the movie itself.
Because there's a lot of nuances to this
Right,
movie.
there's a lot of it, but the movie itself is where I was just like, ugh.
I think everything he does is deliberate, though.
And see, and that's what we were talking about slightly. It was like
I
some
think it's
parts of it, I
deliberate.
don't know if it's deliberate or me ascribing my own feelings to this. And then he's like, oh yeah, I meant for it to be like that. That's exactly what I wanted.
Like with Get Out, he's like, what'd you think? Oh, that's what you got from. He never said anything. Like, oh, that's what you got from it. Interesting.
Right.
He never clearly says anything.
Which is a classic
so.
Christopher Nolan move. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do that. We have an ad to do right quick. So after the ad, we're really gonna get in and dive deep in this one. So if you don't want to, be spoiled, then you might want to tune off. But if you do want to be spoiled, we're gonna have a nice little discussion about this because that's what I've been waiting on.
Right.
Honestly,
I've been antsy about this all day.
And here we go. This portion of the show is sponsored by the Spirit.
it's like it's a rap song. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, here we
Come
go.
on. Here we go. Yeah, come on.
Looking for exclusive
Watch out
content that you can't find anywhere else? Look no further than our Sphere exclusives found only on Patreon. We've got behind-the-scenes shots happening daily at the Sphere Podcast Studios. Each show on the podcast network curates episodes that are only delivered to Patreon subscribers. Plus, we deliver the show live from start to finish in our Discord server that's exclusive to our Patreon family. Sign up today at www.thesphere.tv/Patreon to join our $2, $5, or $8 Patreon tier and get access to all of the exclusive content we offer here at the Sphere.
Okay, now let's go full spoilers.
First, let's say thank you to everyone for tuning in and viewing and
Right.
watching us.
Antigone gave it an 8. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
so-
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
That's a lot of wells.
Let's get into this. I'm gonna be honest with you, straight out the
Because
gate.
you attacked it on Facebook.
I feel some type of way about this film because I feel like it's the theme or the message that it was trying to get was powerful. It was cool. I got what it was.
Before we dive into it like that, I think we should probably dissect how we're gonna go about it instead of just unleashing on the whole movie because there's definitely different parts of it.
Let's break it
Right.
down in halves.
So let's start with
Can
the
we
first
break it down
part
in halves?
when the tethers first get introduced. Let's start with
I'm not gonna
the
start with
build
the
up to that.
I'm not gonna start with where they got introduced.
Yeah.
What,
You want to
when she was
start
a little
there?
girl.
Yeah.
When
The
she was a little
very-
girl.
So I'm
Well,
gonna start with
everything
the little
leading
girl.
up to her getting into the house.
So in my opinion,
Spoilers are coming, by the way, just in
in
case
my
y'all missed
opinion,
that.
the opening part of the movie is supposed to sell you on the movie, get you invested in the movie, what you're about to see. And a part about this, my thing that I didn't like about the film was when I first started watching the film and it finally opened with the Hands Across America and then it went into the carnival, nobody seemed like a real character and it took me out the movie. The way the dad was acting was horrible. The way the mom was like being, it was cringy. The way they were, I guess their character was written or whatnot. It does not seem real. Same with the little girl and her with her family and her interacting with her family. It did not seem like a real situation. So when she went down to the House of Mirrors and whatever take place and she ran to a doppelganger, I was already taken out of the film because
So I got a question on that. You're talking about her as a child?
As a child.
Okay, not as the mother.
not as the mother.
Gotcha, okay.
I wasn't sold by how the film was introduced or how even it started, and I was already taken out of the film already straight out the gate. I don't know how y'all felt about that, but about that
That
scene,
part I actually agree with you on.
because there was she didn't seem like a real child when she was interacting with her parents. She didn't really talk at all with the dad. He was being all awkward with his movements.
Well,
Well,
drunk.
let me say this though. I think that's deliberate because that's a marital issue. So you have a couple who you can clearly say the mom does not like her husband.
And he doesn't like her.
And he didn't like her, and it's a force. Like it almost seemed like the last outing before we decided to separate.
And it's funny that you say that because Jada, there's a scene when he's talking about I'm going to buy some cigarettes. She was like, yo, he's not coming back. And if you look
The
at
way
some
he
of the
touched
pictures,
his daughter and looked
Yeah.
at her, you was like, it's the
well, if you
last
look at some
go.
of the pictures later on,
He's gone.
he's not in
Got
any
a
of the
picture.
photos.
Yeah.
And I understood that, and I understood what he was going for. But once again, that's that writing aspect that Jarvis talked about, as well as me and Howard on the phone, that I wish would have.
Fleshed out a little
Fleshed
bit
out.
more.
He did, that
But
part I
I
definitely
think-
think he went too shallow on.
I
Yeah.
think it was meant to be shallow because if you think about everything, let's talk about a broad stroke. It was very surface individuals. The husband, she's telling you, I don't feel like myself. You look fine to me. It ain't about how I look, damn it. I'm telling you how I feel. It's like surface stuff.
And I feel like.
And so if these
Okay.
are your like shadows or who you're attached to, it says a lot about who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
The only one who to me was level was the son. He's the only
He's the only one that had depth in the
who
in the
had
whole
depth.
movie.
So everyone, and with her coming from who she was, she didn't know who she was. So they connected again once dance happened. So that means
Yeah.
you're going through life not knowing who you are, in my opinion.
I can get that, but I just feel like it was flat. I mean, we don't have to get too far in there. So fast forward, you get the family, you introduce them.
well,
Oh, you want to go talk about it?
Jarvis?
Yeah.
You've been quiet. What's your opinion on this first act of the movie?
Well, like I said, I actually agree with both of them on that first part with Yahya. Yahya is normally a great actor. and that part felt to me forced. We've seen him act on stuff like The Get Down. He's Black Manta, Aquaman. He's gonna be the new Candyman.
Fuck, I didn't even realize that was him.
That is him.
That's him.
Yeah, that's him.
Didn't
But that's the
even dawn on
thing.
me.
Did you notice how the parents really weren't focused? It wasn't like a sharp who they were. I had to wait a minute, that's who that is.
Yeah.
No,
And they always showed him from behind
he
and everything.
still had his Aquaman build in this movie. You can tell that.
Yeah, he
But
had a
still,
nice
if you
little
weren't, even if that's the case, the way they showed those parents, you really couldn't tell who they were.
Yeah.
So then what's the verdict then? Was that opening act a layer, or is it just something that he just
I
fell
think
short
it was
on?
a layer. I feel it was a layer.
It could be a layer.
personally.
So with this being a layer, because I know you feel like this movie has multiple layers,
Yes.
where do you think that connects with the rest of the movie? Like, what was the purpose of that shallow interaction between the parents and the daughter and her leading into the House of Mirrors?
You know, as children, you tend to mimic and engage with people who reminds you of your family life. Look at her husband; he was shallow as well and just very surface. She ended up mimicking that life. She didn't like her husband. You can tell she didn't like her husband. She only really catered to the son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to me, it was like a mirror of what she already was doing because she didn't know anything different. The girl, because we realize now she was the girl in the tunnel. So.
Is it weird that I picked that up immediately?
No, it was obvious.
I got that out the gate, and that's another
Right.
thing.
But I think, and we all did, but she didn't know she was until I think driving away.
Yeah.
We skipping ahead though.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but
So-
I think,
And
I think
that
it-
part, I was like, how did
what?
you get to the point where you forgot you was the one in the tunnel?
Oh, that's easy
But
to explain. though. She was
look
like
how
6
young
years
she
old.
was. Look how young she was.
Repressed memories. That happens all the
Yeah.
time.
And
I think she already,
and it
after
also
watching the
tells
film,
you,
go for
it
it.
also tells you though, mothers know their children. She knew that's not my child. And you hear all the time with abductions and something's not right about
she
her.
did say that
She
a
kept
lot in the
saying,
thing.
"I just want my daughter back."
Oh, you talking about the mama? Okay, the mama.
I
Okay.
want my daughter
I didn't
back.
pick up on that because there was that heated argument they had when they were at the therapist.
then-
You say it's not like she has PTSD. She
he's
was
like,
only
"That's not my
gone
child."
for
he's,
15
and that
minutes.
shows you how surface he was. And she's like, "This is not my daughter."
And when you say that, that's why I do not like the intro even more because when
Hold
she talks about.
hold that. Well, now we're running over on Facebook.
Oh,
Live.
well, we gotta go.
Oh,
we
no,
gotta
no.
take. Yeah, we gotta take this commercial.
I'm sorry about this,
whole
but we're
thing
going
off.
to take this off air. I know we gave you a little surface level, a little preview, a little taste of what we're going to talk about. But if you tune in off
Just
air
the
on
tip.
YouTube as well as listen to the audio, you
Just
can hear
the
what's
tip.
going on. And you can hear that if you subscribe at all major platforms: Google Play, iHeart, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher. I don't even know. I didn't know Stitcher even existed still, honestly. But yeah, it still exists. And go subscribe there if you have it. But also, don't forget to become a Patreon donator, one-time single donation, as well as becoming a monthly subscriber. We have a bunch of these shows that we're creating for the show that's going to be on there, and one of them is probably going to be a spoiler review show that we start to have more frequently when more movies starting to come out. But also, we thank y'all for stopping by and tuning in with us, and we hope to hear y'all see your comments as well as hear back from y'all. Tune in off air, and y'all want to say anything else?
I'm good.
Zip it up and zip it out.
What? Wait, what?
Stop.
I got nothing
No
to
more
say.
tequila.
Bye, y'all. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Dave
Hurry and run.
Right.
So,
Okay.
so
I'm the only
dive
one who
into the
appreciates Dave
second
Chappelle.
part of the movie. Now, go ahead.
Before we get in the second part, I love it how you just tell me and how you kind of gave me a little the mother's love and knowing of her child. I did not like how she was just like it looked like she was afraid to talk to her kid in the beginning when she was like, "Do you need to go to the bathroom?" And then there was like an awkward pause.
Well,
But you
that's
don't
the
think
thing.
that was part of it though?
The mom
especially
had
with
to go
the
to the
reveal.
restroom, and she knew the mother had to go to the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
The dad is not engaged.
And if you're not engaged,
So what do? So you want to cause an argument? Honey, want to go to the restroom? And the kid's like, oblivious. I ain't got to go anywhere.
let me tell you right now, Howard, you're a parent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a parent too.
Okay.
That's why I was not sold, because their interaction was unparent-like, and I knew they
Because
were
they're
trying
a
to set
trouble
up.
okay.
marriage.
But I know-
Well, now hold on. You can't make that jump because clearly the father has some other things going on, and they're playing
Yeah.
this type. And when you start looking around, one of the things that was really big on me on the first part of the movie is that she kept showing loving couples all the way
through.
and it was like they were juxtaposing this whole thing where it's like, this is what a family's supposed to look like. This is not what it's supposed to look like.
And she's
you can
6
hear
years
him say-
old, 7 years old. She's
And
realizing
looking at
something's
all
not
this
right.
stuff. Yeah,
Mhm.
and she seems unhappy. She's not eating her candied apple. The mom is saying this stuff, and he's like clearly out of work because she's saying, yo, they're hiring extras. She's like, I'm going to get another beer. Oh, I can't have another beer. So
it's problems.
There's a whole other thing that what she's being placed on the background.
So you
and
can't think of it as Marcus as a parent.
But that's not.
I know what he's about to say though.
It's like it's even in doing that. You still that doesn't come off, and that's the thing about it. It still doesn't come off as believable. Still, in my opinion.
Well, but you're not a neglectful father.
I'm not even trying. But I'm not even trying to put because it's not even the father aspect. It's the aspect that we're supposed to be led to believe that she cares about her child and she knows like, hey, this is not my child later on. So if you have that type of connection and you have that type of vibe, that's why I asked you, being a father, you would not gonna leave your child if your father's belligerent like that.
But let me say this to you. You have to, because I'm a woman. I'm not gonna cause a scene.
Not in public.
Not in public. So
But
I'm
who
saying
said
though, he's drunk. He's playing a game and not even including the daughter.
But that's what
he's drunk.
I think y'all missed what I'm saying. I said how the mother did not grab her child.
No,
but why would you grab her?
She didn't want to charge
it's gonna cause a scene.
And she said,
yes, it is.
She sat there and said, "Hey,
I can
do
take
not
care of my
go
kid.
anywhere. Stay here."
He
and
said,
she
"I can watch my
emphasized
kid." She kept saying,
my 6-year-old. That's why
you're not a neglectful parent, and the mom though she also seems like she's kind of neglectful in this sense.
Okay,
and that's the whole point.
Because
like
they have so much going on personally with the two of them.
The child is the background.
So now the child's quiet. She's not acting childlike. She's just really no emotion. So
and even with that though, she was already quiet before going into this, and the mom like, this isn't my child, which highlights something different. Not necessarily the child's not talking much, but it's just something completely different that's off about her.
Well, let's fast forward. So now, okay, the family, we're introduced to Lupita Nyong'o. She's all grown up, got a family, got a husband, whatever. They're going to, what's the place they're going?
Santa Cruz.
Costa Rica.
I saw a guy with Santa Cruz shirt on.
I almost said Santa Clara, but then I realized that's the Lost Boys.
But I was thinking that also, yeah.
So they went there. Okay, they go to the beach. All that stuff going on. Then the Tether people arrive. The Tether family. What are your thoughts?
So that one, I actually think they did that one decently well because you got to see the build-up, all right? And this, I think, actually plays more into how I view the movie now is that Lupita the whole time was saying something doesn't feel right, something feels off. I keep feeling as I'm getting closer to this place where I've been before, where her repressed memories would be, something is off. I keep seeing all these weird things that are lining up. I can't relax, all this kind of stuff, kind of like intuition.
And mind you, her mom just passed away, so they hadn't been there in a year. Yeah. So the mom still lived there. So whatever was going on wasn't happening when the mother was still alive.
Yeah.
And now that the mom is gone, I guess that was a distraction in some type of way because now the mom is gone, you're going there, there's nothing to occupy. I don't know what it is.
To distract her from it. She didn't even want to go to the beach. And this plays later on, I'm telling you, and this piece right here is very important.
And that's what I'm going to ask you, Jarvis. Did you feel like her memories were like in the back of her recesses, like she didn't have the memory? I think she always knew she was tethered. I don't feel like I got that even the second viewing. I knew that she was tethered because when she started discovering things about the beach and being why she didn't always want to be in the dark or why she didn't want her child to be off on his own and stuff like that.
She never had a problem with being in the dark.
She didn't like for her.
But remember, who you're tethered to, they're mimicking and living your life as well.
See, and that's another.
But I can't live the shadow's life. But the shadow knows I'm having like she told her, I had a child, I picked a husband I didn't want because you picked him. This is who I have. And I had
full spoiler.
Wait,
let's go into the plot hole.
You're skipping way too far ahead.
Okay.
The thing is how they were presented from the very beginning, and the introduction to them, the build-up saying, "Hey, something's off," and then they're just sitting there because there's multiple times where you think something's about to happen,
and nothing happens,
and they just stand there.
Yeah.
And as far as it being a thriller, well, the part of the thing about the thriller is that you're suspenseful as to what's going to be the next thing, and they do a lot of quick little cuts throughout the movie leading up to that, like the door closing, giving you a lot of foreshadowing with, hey, this whole little spider thing is going to mean something.
Because I'm telling you, you know, when they showed you the other family, like, oh shit, so everybody, so this is a whole upcoming, like, it's like, uprising's happening.
I want you.
That was hilarious.
And I think you missed a lot of things in this first opening scene.
I missed
them at the beach.
I promise you.
There was so much at the beach.
Shallow interaction between them.
But there's no
matters.
Let's go full. Let's go full into it. Let's go. We're gonna just out of order. I'm just gonna come out the gate.
Well, hold on, Marcus. Restrain. Well, let's get through this because this matters, especially with a very dense movie like this.
So far?
I mean,
you haven't said anything, so
it was good. There were some things that could have been better fleshed out. Sort of like I said.
But we're breaking it down. Like, how did you feel about the introduction of the tethered? How did you feel about
I like
repressed
the
memories and
I
stuff
like the
like
introduction of the tethered. The part of the repressed memories and stuff like that. There's something about that family dynamic didn't sit well with me. I'm not talking about the first one. I actually understood that one a little bit more. I'm talking about Lupita as a adult.
Adult.
What did you not understand about it?
For that too.
What did you understand about it?
It was something like them as a family did not seem like a family almost.
Of course.
And there's reasons for that.
Absolute
They're,
reasons.
that are highlighted throughout the movie.
That's why I'm ready just to go fully into this.
So one of the things that I think that we haven't mentioned yet is that the interaction with the family on the beach though is important because it signifies something that's different between the tethers and these people here in her speech.
Yep.
In her speech, one of the things she says that we notice is that we are soulless. All right. So if you want to skip ahead, we're soulless. Well, she's Red, as they call her online. She's actually not a tether. She's a normal human being.
Yep.
And all the highlighted stuff that you see in this interaction with the person that actually is a tethered, how she can't connect with these people around her through this shallow interaction, that seems like something that would play into this dynamic of how the family unit seemed off.
Because usually
she's not actually with them.
And I mean, usually the mother is the one that kind of helps the maternal type of thing in the family unit, and it's not there. The daughter is a true teen. The son is the only one, I guess. I don't know what is between her and the son. The husband is just, he's like a fucking doofus. I can't stand him.
He was trash. I
was like,
see, let's go fully into this because I'm tired of holding this back. I did not like when you get to we've seen enough films where there's a twist. The twist, you're like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. The twist didn't work, and when he got the twist, it made me question everything else that would happen in the movie. From when we finally found out that she's the one above ground was the tethered, and the one that came above with the tethered family was the original.
So we'll call the original one is Red.
Red.
That's
Okay, well,
Red.
Red.
Then,
So
what's her name? Adelaide.
Okay,
Adelaide's the tethered one.
So when Red came above ground and she was leading her family to break into the house to take over, blah blah blah, things of that nature. When she's starting to break her language and talk about basically just explaining what's going on or where she's been at, I was led to. I was like, okay, cool, I'm buying into this movie. But after that, she was toying with them. The thing with the handcuffs, and when she was a little girl, cool and fine and dandy. But when we're introduced to every other tethered human being, they kill ruthlessly.
Of course,
and
they
this
did,
girl,
though.
she did. You've been chained up down there for this whole time.
But did you notice?
But she's from the surface
She's from the-
originally,
but
though.
did you notice-
She has
from the
vendetta
surface.
against that. She's like, I was here first.
That's what I'm saying.
I know what the
That's
sun
what
is
I'm-
like. I know what real food is.
That's what I'm sitting up there saying is, if you felt that, you would have the need to kill them on sight. And
No,
she had every
you
opportunity.
wouldn't. She's been down there for 20 plus years. You would want to take your time and exact your revenge on this.
Yeah.
Everyone else had no actual.
And that's
and
what.
had no
and I'm
actual
glad that you said
thing.
it. And I'm glad you said it because nothing that she did, I felt was you exacting your revenge. Oh, go
You're
run.
gonna
Yes, it
slowly
was.
walk all the-
You're
Yes,
gonna
you know
watch
why
your
it
husband
was?
get killed and
So-
know and hear him in the yard.
Yeah.
You're gonna have your son
So
who
you-
you like
The
upstairs
husband
getting
was
killed and
supposed to
burned and
get
mutilated.
killed 3 times,
Yeah,
and never once
But
got
But
killed.
he escaped though.
How did he
But you
escape?
can't attribute him escaping to Red's whole plan.
So when they
she
ran into
wanted
the house-
to enjoy her and her suffering, because she
Yeah.
had to suffer with the choices
Man,
of being married to a husband that
the
she didn't
thing
want,
is-
giving birth and having to give herself a C-section, having a daughter who's a monster. None of these choices she made from the very beginning of being a tethered person when she's not a tethered.
And Jarvis, I really want to hear your commentary on what you didn't like, because from my standpoint is, I've seen this type of trope done better in other things, and I didn't like what I was presented with, and I feel like it's too many people trying to explain and tell me how this movie is good, and even in there explaining them, it's still saying it still feels hollow as a type of film to me, because even
But
if
you don't see that
explain
being the point though?
Yeah.
But
Like how that's the point?
that doesn't make the
What-
film
what
better
did
than
you-
me.
What did you not like though?
Well, I need that back and forth real quick. You saying you felt it was hollow. You said it was the point. Go.
Well, because the shallow, like, once again, with that beach interaction and even her commentary on the people that are on the surface, y'all are soulless. Y'all created us as a way, like we were created as a way to control you guys. But as you see them playing out and you hear the speech the first time, you're assuming she's a tethered, and you're like, man, you guys are created, and y'all are the soulless ones. but it's actually a reflection on us. It's a mirror reflection that we're the ones obsessed with consumerism. We're the ones obsessed with these shallow interactions. We don't want to dive and actually interact with these people. And we have something we create, and there was something created to
each
control
tethered
us.
person was the worst part of the actual person.
Was
the husband
supposed
was
to
a
be,
fucking doofus.
Yeah.
He was, and no one spoke but her. You know that, right? No one can speak for her. The one, her so-called friend, that her and her daughter did not want to go see them. Like, we're gonna see them. Yep. All she cared about was appearance. So she didn't kill her. She killed no one, really. She stabbed herself, which was the girl on the ground, and then she only cut her face. She could have killed Lupita character in that bedroom. She didn't. She held back for a reason.
Yeah, because she had no vendetta against her.
That person. Only the family. The husband going after the other guy.
So why did the daughter, when she went running, the daughter killed that one human, was like, hey, get off my car?
Because
that was for self-defense at that point.
Well,
you're going around
so
killing
when
everybody.
Lupita Nyong'o runs up in there with an iron for the fireplace, no self-defense?
She didn't get attacked, though.
See, but there's so many plot holes, man, and it just makes me even just look back at this film like, man,
I see what he's saying.
It is just so because even in doing that, it's like you're supposed to be opposite of everything. So my tethered is doing everything opposite or whatnot. So how is when it's finally revealed in the end about how everything is tethered from when her dad or whatever, and how she got the shirt or whatever.
Now remember, the tether got left unattended. They had they had someone at some point in time attending to them.
And that's one thing that blew.
And then all of a sudden, it wasn't working out, duplicating people, and they were just left on their own devices.
And she said it wasn't a perfect thing. Like, even if you look down, like when they show it. So when the dad was playing whack-a-mole, right, and he's sitting there hitting the thing, the dad downstairs isn't actually hitting anything. He's punching the wall. So it's not a perfect system.
And they went insane.
Yeah.
Man,
they started losing attachment to that.
Yes.
It just blows my mind. There's tunnels and tunnels.
That's a real thing, though.
That is a real thing.
That's a real thing.
That's a real
in
thing.
Vegas right now, there are literally hundreds of people underground.
Vegas.
We got a tunnel system downtown.
And to
Houston.
me, it's almost like
that nobody came up there.
But that's the thing, though. It's almost like you have a society that's forgotten. You don't even think about. It's not your problem, and they're just like multiplying and watching and seeing.
Very allegorical to the homeless people. These are people that are sitting there on the streets that you can just walk by unless they acknowledge you. You're probably not even going to.
And all we care about is the surface thing: my boat, my new car. Nothing was deeper. The only to me, the only deep person, like we said, is the son. He was the only one who's like, "This is some bullshit going on."
And here's the thing, though, about the whole family dynamic. All right, when you watch the son and the dad, there's a clear divide between the son and the dad and the mom and the daughter. Adelaide, who we know is originally created underground, you can see her true nature coming out when she's killing people. The only person that exhibits that kind of ruthlessness is the daughter. Even when the son had to hit the mom in the back of the head, he hesitated. It took a minute. The other daughter, though, she went fucking berserk.
Let me ask you a question. So when y'all saw, when y'all watched the movie, we're led to believe that the tethered are doing the opposite of what the human forms are doing, correct?
To an extent, and that's kind of mentioned in the movie.
They're mirroring.
The thing
is, same,
that's why the son walked backwards, because he had to do what he was doing.
I got that. Why is the tethered? Why was the red character doing everything opposite of what the tethered was doing? If you're not supposed to be, she's
the one leading.
Because she's the leader.
She's the one leading.
How is she leading?
She's the original human being.
Yeah, so actually,
Red is the original.
Yeah,
right.
she was the one who was switched.
That's why Adelaide was never comfortable.
That's what I'm sitting up there saying.
That's also why every time she tried to make a move,
but that's
she
what
kept
I'm saying.
missing.
Why she keeps saying like, oh, I had to when she was saying I had to watch you have marry a handsome whatchamacallit. You're not tethered. You're the human person.
No. They are tethered, but it's not the same kind of control because once again, it's not a perfect system.
She should never been doing the opposite of anything that her tether was doing.
Marcus, if you're holding on to a rope that I tied you to, and let's say it's around you and I can exert more control of it, you can still exert some kind of dominance over the rope. It just takes you a whole lot more effort. And if you're not aware of this connection, then there's no way you can do anything. Like the son exhibits when he becomes aware that he can take control of this in the closet.
And then
he's the only one who saw that.
But that's what I'm saying.
True.
Even when we get to see that, like you said, red is the original form,
and the dad.
she should not be doing the opposite of what the tethered is doing. Because
Red
that's
never.
not,
Red
said that. She said when you had met a beautiful a prince, I had met this other guy.
We don't
she
know.
said when you had
we
a
don't know anything about. And this is the part where I say he didn't flesh out. We don't know what
Plot
the
hole.
nature. We don't know the nature of the connection.
Right.
We don't know
That
how
is-
it actually works. And
Right.
That's the problem.
That is my problem.
That's not
And
necessarily,
why-
that's not
and
necessarily
that's
a
when I-
plot hole.
It's
though,
a
if you don't
problem
know.
for you,
See, it
but
was it became a plot hole, and it became a problem because if you already knew that was not the tether, you knew the one that was above ground. If you were following, and
They're tethered together, though.
That's what I'm
the
saying.
thing.
Even
Yes.
if you saying that, if you
They said it in the movie.
But if you figured out that the person that was above ground was really the tethered form, you would know when she's literally giving this explanation of what's going on. How are you doing opposite of that?
Because she got taken at like a very, very young age. You're asking her to remember something she's suppressed.
I'm not talking
And
about.
this is
it's
wild.
not even talking about.
So
I think
she was taken also while they were still doing the experiment, while things were still going on.
Right.
And she says this. Eventually, they stopped their experiments on us, and then everyone lost their mind, and then they realized I was different. She
Yeah.
says that in the thing.
Yeah.
So
She
they-
realized
And
that
it was
with
at
the
age
dance.
14.
Yeah,
And
at
it
14.
comes-
So it makes me think
There was something
between
else
that
going
age
on.
and that gap, she probably was
Susceptible to a lot of things like repressing
just like,
memories,
and they were like, "What's
becoming
wrong with her?" So now
influenced
she's
by outside
dancing.
sources.
I think they reconnected in some way at 14.
Yeah.
Because she's finally connected, and she said, "Did you feel it too when I found my purpose?" So at that point, I think that they kind of aligned again.
And even Adelaide says that, well, as things started going and getting older and older, I kept feeling like this is a darker cloud. And as I got
And
closer
someone's
and
coming
closer
closer
to
and
here,
following
I
me.
started feeling this connection even stronger. And I felt like I've been running away from this my whole entire life.
Once
Yeah.
again, that's how I knew she was tethered, and her
But
being
it's
tethered.
fine.
I mean, but I
it
think
doesn't
we
make
knew
it a
that,
plot hole
though.
because no one's ever fleshed out in the movie how the tether actually works. We just know that it's there, and it's left very ambiguous
But
to
that's
how
what
it
I'm
works.
saying. They always let it known that they do the opposite of what.
No,
No, it's not the opposite,
It's
really.
not the opposite. It's a mirror.
what-
of
like
mirror.
what-
The
like-
mirror. Well, there you go. The
But it's
mirror
not-
still,
it's
but
not-
still the same.
it's also said they didn't get it right. She
Right.
said that was very,
Right.
very
But
explicit.
how is the original mirroring the tether? That's what I'm still lost on.
They're
Because you don't
not.
know how the tether works. None of us
None
knows
of
how
us
the
work.
tethers works. It's never explained.
The film makes it explain that only the tether do.
So how does the tether work? Where does it say only the tether
But
do
I'm
this?
talking about when we're watching the film, we're led to believe that the tether had broken.
Where is it explicit?
even
Where is
what? Broken what?
where is it said that though? That's what
That
it's,
was-
you're led to
When
believe a
she's
lot of
when
things
she's
in the movie.
explaining all of this, when she's saying that we see the opposite of you.
She
when
says,
she's-
she says, we behave in a mirror like
We're like your shadow.
We're like your shadow.
But I'm
until
sure-
yeah,
and
that's
she
what she
said,
said.
until the
We-
shadow started getting hungry and started
and
developing
I had
its
to
own
eat
sense.
raw rabbits. So when you get all these
Man.
gifts and you get great food, I'm
I
eating
eat
rabbits. So remember in the flashback of the fair, and they're in the downstairs just walking
And they
around.
pass by the
and
food
you
court.
see them in the food court, and
Yeah,
her
you see
memory
the
is
you see
he's
the
feeding
mirror,
her
and
cotton
they're eating-
candy,
and now
he's
they're
feeding
eating
her
rats.
rotten.
So here's
rabbits.
two things that were very subtle that happened in the movie that I saw that kind of to me highlight how imperfect this is. The first thing, well, I guess it's three things. The first thing is the whole thing with the dad punching the wall. The second is the guy holding the sign with 1111, the other
Yeah,
guy
and
carving it
Ford
into
in
his
his
head.
head.
The other one is when they're playing rock, paper, scissors up top. They're sitting here doing rock, paper, scissors and throwing out scissors.
Yeah.
Downstairs, they're doing like this and then going back to rock.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect
It's
system.
not
Even
perfect,
if you
yeah.
look, and if you look at how Lupita's character is in the actual movie, and she starts talking about like getting on beat and all this, she's completely off sync on a lot of things.
Yes.
And this is what I'm saying. We don't know how the tether actually works. Who has can exert what kind of control over what? We do know, however, that in general, there's a mirrored response to what happens when one person does something and the other person responds to it. But we don't know who exerts the dominance, because look at the kid with the match. He started playing with the match, and then all of a sudden, when he started playing with his little magic toy, it started working again.
And that's why his face was all burned down in there.
Well, that's
I
'cause
saw
he
But he
that.
was
burned himself.
But he was born in fire.
Yeah.
And he burned himself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
her first child was easy delivery, whatever, but she was a monster. Her second child couldn't come out, so she had a C-section up top, sedation, all that. She had to cut her own child out of her.
I got that, but they
so
never
that's
said,
the
what
whole.
did they say about
But hold
Born
on,
Fire?
hold on.
I didn't
He
remember.
really
the
played
scene.
with fire.
She said,
Yeah.
she said he was playing in fire, born in fire. I remember that.
I
Yeah.
saw, I
That's
saw
why
it
she
twice
said-
and I
That's
didn't.
why
I
she
missed
said,
that.
don't burn the house down. His whole face was burnt from. I mean, it was
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
burned.
Yeah, she-
But
So
I
when-
thought he burnt himself because when the boy used to do the magic trick, it never worked. So you always saw him flicking it.
No, he
next
said
to
it,
his
he said
face.
it doesn't work anymore. He did say it used to work, and he said, "Man, this is shit.
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't
not
work
working
anymore."
anymore."
And that's what I'm sitting up there saying. That's why I thought his face was burned because
Oh,
he kept.
no.
Even in that, didn't
But
like
that's
That's
detail is
important
because you're holding on to it as if the tether has a hard, fast way it's supposed to work. But everything in the movie is showing you that no, it's not a hard, fast way. It's a general principle.
And she gave you
said
that
it
whole
doesn't
entire
work
speech,
right.
sitting there letting you know basically her story once upon a
Mm-hmm.
time. So she lost her voice when the girl grabbed her, pretty much broke a vocal cord.
Yeah.
And forcing herself to speak. She's telling you how I didn't pick him, but I had to be with him. I had these children. She's a monster. This
It
shadow.
almost alludes that she got raped and forced into that.
Yeah, because now she wasn't part of that world.
No, yeah. He was, though. He was still tethered. And it almost seems that whoever's the most conscious of the connection is the one who exerts the most force.
Yeah.
As you can see with the boy, once again, walking to the fire. Because the tethered kid at that point knew, I'm tethered to you. But he still couldn't control
And he realized
what was going on.
he said this is a trick. So he already knew.
Yeah,
because he played tricks on his sister all the time.
that
He
was
always
another
played
one that
tricks.
lost me when that dad went sideways and they just went ghosts and they just nothing. Just I want to hear what Jarvis got to say.
Well, hold on.
Oh, we got to add.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Long time ago. Holy shit, this damn time is flying by.
Yeah.
Good
This-
conversation.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Lady Irie Natural Hair Care. Have a kinky, curly style in mind? Lady Irie Natural Hair Care has been a prime destination for catering to natural, kinky hair in Houston, Texas, and beyond for over 5 years. Clients come from all over the world to receive the ultimate experience for their natural hair care needs. Lady Irie Natural Hair Care has been featured on media outlets including Young Black Professionals Magazine, GMT Internet Radio, The Sphere, and more. Your unique vision can be brought to life complete with the helpful tips for maintaining your hair. You'll walk into the salon with the warmest greetings, complimentary refreshments, and knowledgeable stylists that promote total beauty from the inside out. Our goal is to unveil your kinks one curl at a time. Give the experts a call today at 832-265-3792 or book online at ladyirie.com.
Maybe I'm just a grump. I just was not intrigued by anything.
And you have you have the right to feel and get what you want to get. And I'm not
trashing people who like it. I see what y'all like about it.
And no one trying to force a view on you, but just listening to what you're saying, you missed certain
But
things.
I didn't miss none of that. That's the thing about it is because I'm not going into detail. I really didn't miss none of that stuff. Even in me seeing it, I was still saying, this still, I don't like this still. It's still,
and you don't
not
have to,
telling me
because
about it.
for what it's telling me, it has to make
saying-
it's all like upside down. There's
Because
no
I'm
way for
saying
it upside down.
Because everything Howard's saying, I'm saying like when he's talking about the 11 sign, I saw the dude putting a 11.
Yeah,
everything
but
he's
you're
talking about.
holding it as if like it's breaking the rules of the universe, but the rules were never laid
No,
out in
see,
that universe.
that's the thing
though.
about it. Even in that, it's just I did not like. Even when I liked it up to when the family gets, they come in the house and they knock the dad out, and see somehow they don't attack him, but whatever. But they just sit on the couch. She explains
'Cause
everything.
She was controlling them.
That was
she
fine.
was their commander.
All of that was cool. All that was cool. She told them to go run and all that. But then when I happened to see how the tethered people were acting when against their original forms, that's when I was just like, damn, if I got kidnapped, and I'm pretty sure she knew she got kidnapped when she was a little girl, and know Red, in my opinion, already knew Red was the original form. I want revenge, but I want you dead. I want everybody dead, and that was my
disagree,
problem.
right? Look
Yeah.
at every single other TV show and movie where someone gets tortured for fucking 20
And
years.
They wanna drag it out.
That's what I'm saying.
Seriously.
But
But
that's what I'm
then
saying.
you wouldn't
Drug
have
it
a
out.
movie though.
That's what I'm saying. I don't mind it. I just didn't like how she was going about all that. It's ways you can do it. Like in Westworld,
me-
there's ways. There are certain ways how it's presented, and I like how people present it in other ways. I'm not knocking the film, and I promise you, this is the type of film where most things, if I say things are trash, that means I don't really care what you think, and I'll be like, I still think it's trash. I see why people like the film. I honestly do. I see every reason why, but me personally, I don't care for it. I didn't like it. I was bored. I thought the characters were blah, and then it was just like, it was what it. I didn't get no suspense. I didn't get no scariness, and everything was kind of just cut and dry to me, in my opinion, because I mean, damn.
I almost feel like that was a deliberate part of it, though. 'Cause the
I
whole point
really
was
think
about
so.
being shallow. Like the
I
whole
think
thing.
so.
Like, and it was like presented to you as if hold on. It was presented to you like just look at the very, very beginning of the movie when he starts presenting this. Like he paid special emphasis on this one thing that seemed very like in depth that would prove humans have a soul. We got all these homeless people. We're gonna do this hands across America. But then the first thought that was in my head was, well, how the fuck is this gonna feed people? And literally, I swear to God, that was the first thing I thought. Was like, okay, cool, you got this giant demonstration. Where's the money coming from, though?
Because
How you
it's
gonna
all
feed folk?
about
You had to donate.
Display, the
It's a
show.
the
But you had to
show.
donate.
Show.
But in that Hands Across
Not
America,
to
you had to
hold hand-
donate.
Not to hold
Yeah,
hands,
you had to
though.
you had to
But
donate.
either
It was a
way-
$10
but
donation
either
on
way
Hands
it
Across
goes-
America per
but,
the touch
but
hands.
even if you do that, what is it showing anyone that we're holding hands? You're not
Yeah.
looking at the money. You're looking at a great display for everyone to see
And it's
that
like,
we're great
hey,
people.
Look at what we did for these downtrodden people that
goes
you
back
don't see.
to
Oh,
goes back to
yeah.
the relationship with him and his so-called friends. They didn't even like each other. Families didn't even like each other.
Yeah, he's doing this to fuck with me.
He's like,
he got this
yeah,
car just to
you
fuck
know,
with me.
That's how it was. you
I
know?
get, he's dead. Oh, but I get the
The
car.
The
daughter-
having and have nots. Yeah, I got all
you know,
that.
and it was all they both had. I guess they both come from something.
Yeah, 'cause he
But
had
it's all about
house
let me
and a
show
Benz.
you better
Yeah.
this and that. It's like you can tell nothing was genuine.
There was no in-depth connection between these people. The only connection that they ever displayed in this whole thing was the connection between you and your mirror self.
And I
Like,
and I thought
think
that
that's a huge
I got
thing
that.
in that.
I got all that. It was cool. I mean, I got what y'all like. That's why I wanted y'all to tell me
Jarvis
what y'all
has
like.
had this very skeptical look on his face. Like,
I was just all right.
I'm
Once
really
I speak,
itching for this.
that'll be it. Because
And we can do trailers.
We can do trailers. It was a good movie. It was, like I said, I enjoyed it more after reading up on it afterwards, which is sometimes a good thing, sometimes a bad thing.
Yeah, reading Jeremiah 11:11 kind of like, oh, okay.
Kind of opens everything up.
Yeah, it
Above and
does.
below, yeah.
But it almost, I won't say he did, but he almost went M. Night Shyamalan.
almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
He
It
got-
was a real thin line.
It was a real thin line. So it could, I understand your problems because he almost went Shyamalan on with it, with too much layer. Like sometimes, you want a good twist, but you don't need a fucking
You
twist.
don't need a whole the
Yeah,
movie being
yeah.
a complete mindfuck.
Right. So it is a good movie, but it got borderline too much.
Shyamalan-y.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, and I think everybody should go see it.
So
who do y'all think was the villain in the movie, though?
Surface people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just for jackasses. I mean, honestly, at the end of the movie, I'm gonna be quite honest with y'all because I love talking about Westworld. I literally walked out this movie like, go watch fucking Westworld, man. If you want to get these themes, go fucking watch Westworld.
But I mean, you gotta think the Westworld has our words to develop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
No,
so
I know that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. But
So,
that's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
yeah.
I've been spoiled by that show. But
Yeah.
hey, it is a good film. I gave it a 6.5 because I wasn't scared. Blah blah blah. I did like the things. I did see the things that people would enjoy the film. So yeah, go see it. You're probably gonna have to watch it twice, so it will make its money. So that's good for Jordan Peele. But we're gonna go forward and talk about a couple of trailers we got going
Which
on.
trailer you want to start off with, Earlene?
Let's start off with.
Oh, and let us know what y'all think about it. Message us or comment in YouTube and Facebook and go back to Arlene.
Thank you. Shit. Let's look at John Wick.
The only trailer I've seen. Yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen none of the other ones? I'm
No.
sorry, Arlene. I didn't mean to cut you. I just really
Yeah,
wanted
you
to.
did. That's
I
what
just
you
wanted
do.
to throw that.
That's what you do. It's all right though. We have the new
Don't get
John,
offended, but
right?
Hey,
I'm
let's just cook some
saying.
collard greens and some cornbread, and we all have
I'm
a
gonna
good
punch you in the
time.
fucking head. So we have a new John Wick 3 trailer that I
was actually
think
the only
is
soul
pretty
food.
awesome.
Oh my god, yes, this movie looks great.
I can't wait.
Shout out to the dog from
The
the
dog.
How
was
about they
good.
had Dog Day, Dog Recognition Day? They had a
But
whole
you
tribute
know one
to
thing
the
I
dog.
Had a
love
what?
about
There's like a day for dogs and like that.
Oh, really?
Do y'all recognize who the woman is that they just showed?
I can't place it
She's
though.
in fucking Billions. It's Taylor from Billions.
I didn't
yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
but one thing
We
I,
have to refer to her as they, though. That's her pronoun. That's their pronoun. It's
They.
They, them.
I'm really excited about John Wick 3.
I do like that the action has taken
well,
another
the-
leap
But
up.
the one thing I loved about John Wick was it always took place right after the other,
Yeah.
and you can tell this takes place right after he's running
Halle
the park.
Berry.
Yeah,
Because
she-
what the
she
second one
bringing
was
it.
like a day or like 4 days later or something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
Yeah.
God damn.
Oh, you all right, girl?
She just got so hot for Halle Berry that she couldn't.
I
It's
did.
getting
Painted.
hot in here.
Hey. But I'm really excited about this.
Dropping
Alcohol
water all
last
over the
time.
place.
I didn't. Yeah, no alcohol.
It looks
Right.
better than I expected to look, and that's the thing that I didn't think because I saw the second movie. I know a couple people didn't
Y'all-
like it.
Y'all know the part that worries me though.
What?
It doesn't even worry me. It's just that Halle Berry. It's pretty.
Okay. Halle Berry.
I really
She
feel
looked dope on it.
for some
She
reason
looked
I really
fucking
think she's
bomb.
gonna do a really good
I
job
hope
in
so.
this.
Because a lot of movies, I feel she
I
just.
think she's at the point in her
coulda
career where it's
mails
like
it
I
in.
can do what I want and act how I want, and not worry about anything.
I've never really noticed she was a really bad actress until I saw Catwoman, and then I went back and watched Swordfish, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of movies she's
It's
terrible
quite-
on.
it's
I
quite
like
a
the-
few.
Well, I stopped
I think
the,
it's,
the
I
whole
think it's
thing.
what they write for her. I don't think she's as bad.
They kind of
as-
make her seem like she's got some kind of airhead.
and she's really not.
Nope, not true. Because in
Perfect Stranger?
no, what's that movie where she was in James Bond when she played Jinx?
Oh yeah. Oof.
Yeah, trash.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies. There you go.
Oh, I did like the dog. I did like her, saying sick the dogs and the dogs went after and started fighting.
But I'm really excited about
That
this.
is the girl from Billions.
Yeah.
You're sure right.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this.
So
The action scenes look really cool,
that
which
looks
is
dope
dope.
right there.
Especially when he's on that
kills
horse.
it.
Look,
Yeah.
shout out to Neo.
No, shout out to Ted because you know they're reading
What?
They're making a
Yeah.
yeah.
next year.
Yeah,
it drops.
excited about that.
I hit a mean eye roll when I saw that trailer. I was like, really? We're digging this up?
Wait, there's a trailer for it though?
Yeah. I mean, there's
No.
like a announcement.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
an
okay.
announcement. Yeah,
And they look like Bill and Ted doing the announcement.
because it's basically the Wild Stallions realizing
The next
I love
trailer
that
on the
shit.
docket is
I was talking to you.
Dang, we
oh,
didn't
I'm
say what
sorry.
interrupted me.
I apologize.
Okay, see?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Give her some cornbread. All right, go ahead.
She's about to throw that bottle of water on.
I really didn't mean to interrupt y'all.
I know
I'm
you
sorry.
did.
I really did.
I'm just giving you a hard
I was
time.
really. I didn't mean to. I really wanted to
And now
slide
I'm
that
giving
in
you
there
the
for them
hard
to
time.
give us what they like.
Thank you. Trailer number 2 is going to be Brightburn.
Right,
I don't know shit about this.
This is a horror.
Oh, nice visual.
Starring Elizabeth Banks.
Who's
She's
that?
directing it.
She's in it.
Oh, she's in it. Okay.
James
James
Gunn.
Gunn.
Yeah,
All
You
right.
say who is Elizabeth Banks?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
It's the
actresses
premise
and
of this is that
actors'
she's a child from somewhere else, almost like Superman, but he's totally evil.
Yeah, it's basically if Superman came here and was evil instead of good.
I like.
Oh,
Elizabeth
that's
Banks.
cool.
So who's directing this? Because I see
James-
they're
James
pushing.
Gunn.
James Gunn.
Oh, I thought it
Yeah,
said
just popped on
produced.
No, he directed this.
So this seems to be interesting.
like I say, when he
Is
gets
that him
bullied-
right there? Is that Superman?
Yeah.
So this is what he came to DC with, so he can get that Suicide Squad money.
Well, this ain't. I think it's quite DC. I can't remember.
Oh, he broke her hand?
Yeah.
Oh.
Broke her. Ooh.
You saw that?
Yeah, like this is him going dark.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, y'all.
Heck yeah.
This might be dope.
I'm excited about it.
Yo, that's the old boy who played the husband on The Office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good eye, Howard. Look at Howard, little reference, but he does not know who
I don't know the
Elizabeth
names,
Banks
but I
is.
know what they're on. Oh, check
40
that
year
out.
version, Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, I mean, I know who
Oh,
she is.
okay.
and I just didn't know her name. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm about to fuck some shit up.
She's been doing a lot of producing also
She
as
has
well.
been. Good call out.
Yeah.
And directing, too.
Yeah, absolutely. The
Horror
whole
movie released on Memorial Day. That's interesting.
So it's going to be a horror film.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily
Or is it
horror
action?
Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think suspense, action.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Check
See,
out- yeah.
I wouldn't be able to pull it out my
out of there.
I just
Superman,
hope
what did I do?
I
to
just
you?
hope the best parts aren't shown in the trailer. I hate when they do that.
And
Yo, check him out.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh shit! that made me.
Marcus
my
jumped.
fault. That made me jump.
And you said this is based off of a book?
yeah, it's a graphic novel in DC, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
No, man. So this is like, okay, I guess Irredeemable isn't. I guess he was like good and then went bad, right?
So this not Red Sun.
Yeah, you and BJ were talking about that one time.
Or Invincible.
Is it Invincible? That was Irredeemable. I gotta look it up. But basically, like, oh boy's like Lois Lane type woman gets killed, and then
Oh, Injustice.
Injustice.
That's the Injustice story.
no, but it wasn't
Red
actually
Sun?
it wasn't Superman though.
Oh,
I'll
man,
find
that's
it.
creepy, man.
So that's coming out. That's gonna be really good.
What should I ever do? Let him die? Maybe.
See,
And that call back to what, Man of Steel?
Yeah, it's called Irredeemable. It's by
What is
the
the shoe?
dude's
Look,
name
look,
is
look,
floating.
the guy's name is he's the Plutonian.
David.
Oh, see,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
directed by
Yeah.
a whole nother dude.
David something.
David something.
Yardy or something like that.
It's gonna be very interesting.
Next
Yeah.
up, we're going to look at the trailer for the TV
Boom
show
Studios.
Godfather of Harlem, starring Forrest Whitaker.
Hey man, shout out to Forrest Whitaker from bouncing off of Empire and get on the real show.
You know what's crazy? I was watching a movie the other day, and I was like, oh, shit, that's Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme. He
he's
was
in
one of
it?
the agents.
From back in the
Really?
day, I gotta go back.
Oh,
He was
wow.
one of the agents that was
This looks
chasing
really,
him.
really good, though. I just like him as
Was
an
that
actor.
Malcolm X on there?
Yeah, I guess it's
Oh.
supposed to guy.
Yeah, it
Oh,
takes
yeah.
place around that time.
Yeah, because I just saw the whole Nation of Islam on
And
there.
I think it'll be on CBS.
Epics. It's another movie station.
Okay.
Like
Netflix
Encore
has
and all that.
inspired so many to start making their own stuff.
I
Yep.
like it. I like
Yep.
it. I like it. That's
And that's a big fuck you to Steven Spielberg because you know he's got a problem with it.
He got a
lot
problem.
going on. Yeah, he does.
He got a problem.
The last trailer is going to be Hannah, which is based off of that movie Hannah that came out, and it's a book also as well. It's going to be a TV show on Amazon Prime.
that's-
That's Jarvis's favorite actor right
yeah.
What's
there.
his name?
Oh my god.
I
Jarvis
did not
loves
know
it.
he is
Captain
from,
Flag.
he's from
What's his
Yeah.
name?
Switzerland?
Captain Flag.
I know you
From
He was on
Suicide
Squad,
and House of Cards.
and he's also he was on
Altered
House of
Carbon.
and Altered Carbon.
Wow.
I liked him in
I
Altered
cannot
Carbon.
But they say he won't be there for Altered Carbon.
No,
Which
because
is cool.
it's gonna be
Anthony
it's
Mackie.
gonna be a change up.
Which I think is a cool concept. You know, you don't.
Yeah.
Have
Joel Kinnaman, that's his
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
I like this. I'm not liking how much older they have her.
Oh, she is older.
I just wonder how they're gonna spread that particular storyline out into a TV.
Hey,
So
Hannah
what's
was
this
a-
about?
Hannah was a
Remember
killer.
Hannah, the movie that came out 8 or 9 years ago, where
She
the
was a-
dad was raising his daughter in the woods, and come to find out she was born as a weapon.
Mhm.
She was
Nope.
a genetic engineer.
And her dad dies, and she
Really, you
seeks
should look
after
at it.
the
It's
people.
pretty
You
cool.
should
I think
watch
you'll
it.
like it.
Yeah.
Who's in it?
The chick
Eric
was-
Bana. He plays the dad.
and the girl is
what's that? Cinderella? Was that what she played on?
Mm-mm.
Oh, what movie did she play on?
That's just called Hannah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
called Hannah.
It's really good. It flew under. In my opinion, I don't think it flew under the radar, but some people it might have.
But I think maybe
Rose, what's her name? Oh, what's her
It's a strange. You can't pronounce it.
Sierra Ronan.
Yeah,
whatever.
I can't pronounce
I'm
that.
sorry.
That's her, but it was good. I liked it.
She played Queen Elizabeth. She was good on there.
Oh, and Kate Blanchett.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's in this movie.
No.
No, first
She
movie.
was.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was
I got
the,
a weird
agent.
thing.
Agent, yeah.
I got a weird thing for Kate Blanchett.
Hey, she's a great actress.
She's gorgeous.
She is.
And she's a very good actress.
talented.
She's
I
very
mean,
talented.
honestly,
What's that movie with the going back in time?
Back to the Future?
No, with the Erling called me out about losing.
Time
my
Cop?
thoughts. I did. I lost my thought.
I wasn't lying
What's
about
the movie with
it.
Brad Pitt when he gets younger?
Benjamin Button, man.
Yeah, when she
Yeah,
played
that's
on Benjamin
like-
Button.
yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all. I had a brain fart.
Yeah, I liked her as Hella. I was like,
Hella.
well,
Oh,
heck, she,
man, right?
She was the Elf
Yeah.
Queen
She
in Lord of the Rings.
But there's a lot of
Yep.
action in this TV show. First of all, that's one thing
I just
see.
wonder when you watch the movie, Howard, it'll make you wonder how they gonna play, how they gonna
how
do
this
that.
gonna be a series.
Because as a movie, it was intense from beginning to end. It's like, oh
Mhm.
crap, that was pretty good.
Did y'all ever watch Orphan Black?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I tried to get into it.
I didn't
You don't
really
like
it was hard to get into.
Yeah, it wasn't for me.
This portion of the show
Bum, bum, bum.
is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. Did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33%, or more than 77 million Americans, don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month, and 39% of adults say they don't have enough savings. Don't become one of these statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or email us at info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask us how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new faces of the new age of financial services.
Man, we was deep on that us conversation. Man, it gets you. Maybe it gets. I mean, it does get a lot of talking.
That's what it's
going.
supposed to do, though. I think
Hey,
it's-
shout out to all our shirts. Everybody, flash your shirt. Show your shirt. Howard, you want to look at that. What's that?
Deadpool.
I said Daredevil. What in the world? Deadpool.
What's wrong?
Back to the Future. I don't know what Howard has on.
Calvin Klein.
Oh, okay.
I mean, flip your hair when you say it. Calvin Klein.
Calvin Klein.
Hey, it's been a great show.
American Youth.
It's been a great show. Last
no.
words from my co-host.
What are y'all watching? What's the last words? What's up?
I'm gonna catch up on OA.
Okay.
Catch up on American Gods. I haven't watched the last 2 episodes.
I'm waiting for him to bank up.
To build up.
Do we get anything dropping in the theaters this Friday?
Oh yeah, we have Dumbo dropping this weekend.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check it
I kinda
out.
really
Let
wanna
it
watch
pass.
that.
I'm gonna check it out. It looks good.
Didn't even like it as a kid.
Oh, I never watched it as a kid.
I think I
Yeah.
like the new concept of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the new
Yeah.
concept of it.
What about you, sir?
I'm rewatching Sabrina. I'm waiting for
Oh.
April to hit
So is
because
great.
Game of Thrones.
I've got one episode left of Game of Thrones and I'm holding it for the day before.
Oh,
drop,
Oh,
just because.
nice.
And then Netflix just hit me with a large bill because I just bought 2 new movies. Apparently, I still haven't finished watching Bad Time at El Royale, so I'm gonna watch
This
that this
guy here.
weekend
You
too.
bought some newbies from Netflix?
Yeah, I'm gonna call them and tell them to refund me and keep the movies.
Huh.
Don't worry, we're not trying to get a Netflix sponsor. I mean, not Netflix, my bad.
Redbox.
Oh, Redbox.
I kept saying Netflix.
I
We're
was like-
trying to get a Netflix
I was about to say
sponsorship.
Netflix
Redbox
did go
will
up on
suck
my
it.
price. They did
Yeah.
send me
But
email say, hey,
well,
$16
yeah.
coming, pimping.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
Netflix could charge
Mike-
30 and I still pay.
Thank you
Yeah.
for doing a great job producing the show, having the clips ready.
And thank you for the AC.
Oh, the
Man,
AC,
what?
It does feel good.
Yeah, that
It
was
gets
good.
hot behind
Yeah,
these
real
cameras,
nice.
but we
Yeah.
appreciate him. Erlene?
I am watching OA right now. I'm trying to finish up Sirens, the Mermaid show on Hulu.
Any good?
No,
Man,
the Mermaid
listen,
Sex. She be watching Mermaid Sex.
I'm just saying, like,
They be burning.
Do they do that? Like
no,
dolphins?
it's not
Oh.
like that at all. But it's a decent season 2 right now. It's a decent show. It just was a lot for me to process the whole menage with a mermaid. I had to fast forward. I couldn't do it.
Fish dicks.
It was a female. Thanks.
How you know?
Never seen it.
How you know they don't?
But
have fish dicks?
that's it. It was watching
lyrical
OA,
motherfucking genius.
binging other stuff, and that's it.
Hey man, I watched before we sign out. I watched what did I watch? The rest of Umbrella Academy, which was pretty awesome. Howard, you were right. I think that next season is gonna be pretty legit, man.
Right.
It's gonna be pretty.
We
legit.
all said that.
Well, you said it, and then Howard
we kind of went into
because
a
he
whole
went so
dive
deep
about
into it,
though.
and then I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm looking forward to. I kind of
ending
stopped
was-
a
the
little bit.
ending was cool.
The ending was awesome.
I love it when the main characters lose.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Yeah. It
Also-
was good. It was good.
Also, I saw the Meg. Pretty.
it's actually a cool movie.
It's actually a cool movie.
It's
I think people should
fun.
watch it. It's you know, you'll get your fix of
Yeah.
it. You'll enjoy it.
I just finally watched
I will
Boss
say-
Baby.
I'm
Good
still
movie.
I'm still in Game of Thrones. Now I'm putting each season left in each week. So in that final week will be the final, this past season. But I'm rewatching Love, Death, and Robots.
Any good?
Yeah, I mean, you haven't started
I
yet.
keep seeing stuff about it.
Like,
I haven't
It's
watched
good. It's good.
I take it's heavy metal meets.
It's like
But
Black
the
Mirror.
The movie
Well,
heavy metal.
I
Or
mean,
like heavy
I
metal
put,
music?
I say like the feel of it.
Okay.
'Cause there's no whole bars with this.
Think
it's-
of Black Mirror.
It's dicks, tits, all that shit.
Oh yeah, I'm watching it.
Well, y'all
Wow,
go check that out.
that's the selling point.
Well, y'all can go check out all those great shows that we talked about on Netflix because we are a good advocate of promoting Netflix content out here. But thank y'all for stopping by and checking out our spoiler review of Us. We enjoyed y'all stopping by and enjoying our great content that we were delivering into y'all. And Howard, say bye. Jar, say bye. Erlene, say bye. I say bye. Hey.
Bye, Howard.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.